Yeah, there it is. Welcome, everybody. It's Tuesday, December 17th, 2024. The time is 6:30 p.m. I'd like to call this Town Board special meeting to order by asking everybody to please stand for the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for adjusting your schedules and meeting on a different night than normal. It would have been tomorrow night, but due to some conflicts, we had to make it tonight. So thank you for understanding and being here. We're going to go a little bit out of order. Julie is running late after this, but public comments or questions on agenda items only. But Holly, if you'd like to talk now, that's fine. Yep. Yep.
Hi, Holly Marcy from Cricket Hill Road. I do appreciate going first, and I can go home. So, and Katie, thank you again for your help that I'm here tonight. So I had started with an email to Mr. Balkin at, I guess he's DOT of Dutchess County.
Commissioner of DPW Highway.
Okay,
Commissioner
thank you.
of DPW, yes.
Okay. So we had a number of accidents recently on the east side of Cricket Hill, on that curve. It's just notorious. So they had done new painting of lines, etc. And there'd always been a sign at the bottom of the road that said local traffic only, which everyone ignored. And it was just, a highway. So after the painting happened, they put up, I guess the county, an electronic speed limit sign down by Judson's farm that only showed 40 miles an hour no matter what you were doing for the longest time, and then they fixed it and it would blink and acknowledge your speed. So it was a reminder of what you should be doing. So, and then they took it away. So I had sent Mr. Balkin an email on November 14th saying that we like the sign, thank you, but I was asking to put back the local traffic only sign. It can't hurt. And if he could also put up either a local delivery only sign or tonnage maximum, because it'll be 4 o'clock in the morning and we can hear these 18-wheelers trundling over the road, and during the day as well. And it's not from Transco. They've been very good for the most part, and they just go where they're supposed to be going. So I asked them for those two things, and also it's 40 miles an hour at the either end of the road, and it switches to 45 in the middle, where most of the houses are. So it really makes no logistical sense why that's allowed. So I asked them, can we just do the whole road? So I hadn't heard back from him. I knew he was away back based on his automatic, reply. In the meantime, on Facebook, on the Town of Dover Community Connection page, people were blowing up Facebook about Cricket Hill, how people were flying, being irresponsible, like really dangerous things. And we have a lot of school buses that, I don't have children in the school district, but there's a lot of kids, buses stopping, and of course everyone's anxious to get home. I don't think it's adults that are speeding. So I followed up with him, and I sent him all of these comments from Facebook about concerned people. So he had gotten back to me, and I'm trying to be brief, but there's a lot here. So Mr. Balkin replied to me on December 12th. He said, thank you. I'll ask our Dutchess County Sheriff's Office if they will install the speed sign on Cricket Hill to assist in the speed limit compliance. If you or the town board has questions about the process regarding the speed limit reduction, please reach out to me. So of course I contacted Katie, who's always so wonderfully responsive and takes care of business. So he had said also on one of the emails that he will not do a local traffic only sign, but yet it had been there all along. So he also said that because it is a county road, it's okay for the trucks to be there because they're trying to take them off the smaller local roads. But compared to 22, we are the smaller local road. So in text conversations with Katie, she had said that there might be a way around it, that the town can look at being able to change the speed limit.
We have reached
Because
out
of the
to our
population?
assemblyman. We have reached out to our assemblyman, and he has given us some local law, but there's some misconception in there. Some people determine it as we can govern our own speed limits, which isn't true yet, okay? But Mr. Balkine brought me some of that information as well.
Okay,
So what we're going to do is we're going to pursue putting the county sheriff's sign back out there. I believe the first sign was ours,
It was the town.
and it did malfunction on occasion.
yes, it just showed,
That's the sign we bought. It was down by the resident at the bottom of the hill,
right,
okay? So then we would fix it, and then it came back, and it kept clicking back to the 40, so we removed it. Since
so
then,
the town, I'm sorry, the town put that up?
the town put that there.
Okay, because I know that there was one here as well.
The town put that there due
Nice.
to the complaints that we were getting from residents on Cricket Hill. So we're not new to this. We've been knowing about this, and we've tried to get some data, which we took probably, a month and a half worth of data? 4 weeks worth at least,
Whatever time it was up there.
What data
I'm
we
sure
got.
It's a couple weeks at least.
before it locked in at 40. It was giving us data of what people were doing.
Oh, okay, I only saw
The big-
those
The big
solid.
complaint we were getting was the stop sign at the bottom at the Y intersection. People were coming through there and just blowing through it. Then second was the speeding, like you're bringing to us now. So to get back to Mr. Balkine, he has spoken to me. So I'm
Great.
looking into it. Katie reached out to our assemblyman. We're looking into that again. The speed study itself can be done by a request from the town, and then there's a process.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll look into that as well. But here's the
Wonderful.
problem with the speed testing, okay? We did it years ago when we had a former board under a former supervisor in front of the school. The state literally came back to us and said, you want to leave it where it is because we think it should be raised. So, we're going to go ahead and do this in hopes that we can lower it. As for the local
Great.
traffic-only sign, I don't ever remember that. Where was it?
It was there for years. I mean, I've been here, I can't believe it, almost 20 years. And it was just recently that that sign was taken down. Like I said, no one paid attention to it anyway. Every person that works at the school in the morning and in the evening is using that road and not going around. Delivery trucks, and again, you understand, just like East Duncan Hill, people are going to use it as a cut-through.
Yep.
But when we have trucks and delivery trucks that have nothing to do with anyone living on our
They're
road,
heading to Connecticut.
it seems,
They're coming out of and heading into Connecticut.
yeah, and like I said, it's not even local companies. I don't even know who these, Edelman Leather, I see them 4 times a week, it seems. Nobody's getting that much furniture, I don't think, on our road. So I'm glad it's being addressed. I know a friend of mine, who shall remain nameless, was stopped by the sheriff because they were going 5 miles over the speed limit, 45 on the bottom, 50 on the
Well,
top,
Since this has picked up,
which is perfect.
I've also made the phone call to ask if they can sit up there and try to slow it down.
Well, it's
So
hard
that
because
when
there's
they have
no,
the staff, they'll go there and they'll sit, and maybe that's one of the times.
are they, because I remember talking to a state police officer years ago. I said, you want to sit on the top of my driveway, feel free. But there's really no public road. All the roads, as far as I know, off Cricket Hill are
Private.
private. Are
Yep.
they allowed to sit there?
I couldn't answer that. I
Like,
don't
there's
know.
no way to, where to sit. I explained to Katie, because I know on the roads with that speed limit side, you don't want them hit by a plow truck. Our fence line sits pretty well back off of Cricket Hill, even though I think it's county property. You want to put the sign up there? Feel free.
Once
Yeah.
you do the speed study, the engineers come in and determine where the signs go based on footage to arcs in the road, curvature of the road, the length of straightaway, the sight distance out of intersections. That's all determined and taken into
Okay.
consideration.
I'm glad you mentioned sight
Okay.
distance, because when it crests the hill,
Mhm.
you can't, like when I'm coming home tonight, I have to crest the hill and make sure no one's coming before I go in. So when these people are speeding at 45 minimum, it's not the spot to do it.
Yep.
So I don't want to take your time.
No,
I thank you
that's-
very much
no,
for
that's fine.
listening.
But I'm going to pursue it with Commissioner Balkine.
Okay,
I'll pursue it along, Mr. Berger couldn't be here tonight as well, because he could actually elaborate more as well as our council, but they're running late because this was a conflict with some of their.
I leave it in your capable
But I'll
hands.
pursue it with Commissioner, and we'll look into that, and we'll go from there. The bottom line is, though, is we can't control how people drive. People will-
Absolutely.
You said it. People will drive the way they want to drive, and it's been 40 and 45 on that hill since I started driving, probably. And it's a cut-through, and who knows who they are. You mentioned, it's probably not all adults that are speeding through there.
Like I said, 5 miles an hour over is not bad. It's
No, I
these other
understand.
people that are like
understand.
screaming down the road. So,
For years, there wasn't a stop ahead painted on the road on the west end.
I don't think that's there anymore. I think that's worn
still there.
off.
It's on
Is
the
it?
road. Yeah.
A blinking
It's
stop
not a
ahead would
blinking,
be
it's
helpful.
painted in the road, stop ahead, so when
Right,
you
I
come over the
remember
top of
that.
the hill to 22, there's a stop sign over the top of that hill. So I'll look into it. I'll talk to Mr. Balkine when I return to work next week, and I think he'll be back. If not, it'll be after the holidays.
Oh, yeah,
I
absolutely.
know he
No
goes to
doubt.
Boston, so
Oh, good for him.
that's where he's from.
So, all right,
You
thank
got
you
it.
all for your time. I
thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Yes, please.
I
can
they're all there. It's kind of crazy how they do that whole thread, but thank you so much.
If I may ask, Katie, if you got the information that Mr. Balkine sent to her, could you forward it to me if I didn't get it
sure.
already?
Okay,
That way, when I go up there and question his stuff, I'll know what he wrote.
all right, I'll scan it.
All right, thank you. Anybody else that'd like to approach the podium on, ask questions or comments on the agenda items only? No? Okay. Reports from Recreation Department and Highway. I just got a text. Something came up. Julie will not make it. So she just wants to tell everybody thank you to everyone who helped and participated in the Holiday Fest and the tree lighting. She wishes everybody a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and thanks to all of her staff for doing what they do. And enjoy the holidays, everybody. Julie. So that's that. Highway, I think we have a report from Councilman Holmes.
Yes, Jason wasn't able to make it tonight. I'd like to reread his report. The Highway Department has been busy cleaning up shop and various cleanup in the highway yard and preparing for the winter. We've had a few storms. We have had to sand, salt, and plow to keep the roads open and safe. Just a reminder that the roads are closed October 15th through April 15th. Please, no parking on town roads. We have job openings for the highway heavy motor equipment operator positions. You can go to the town website for information or stop by the highway department to pick up an application and information. I'd like to thank my team for all their hard work. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all. Jason Satori, Highway Superintendent.
Thank you, Tom. Reports of the supervisor and the town board members. We'll keep it right with you, Councilman Holmes.
Yes, I met and talked with Jason last week about the storms, and he says everything's been going good, except for he could use a few more guys.
Yeah.
So,
we're
you know
trying.
anybody? Like I just read from Jason's report, needs a job driving truck, there's jobs available.
Thank you. Councilman Maluta.
I just want to thank everybody that participated in the American Legion post-1949 Christmas party. It was a huge success. On another note, I just want to thank everybody for allowing me to serve for another year. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and God bless.
Councilwoman Jackson.
The school would like to invite anyone to a documentary they're screening on Thursday night. A program at the high school is students are building a Shelby Cobra race car that will race at Lime Rock in May with a professional driver. The students have a documentary they've produced that is being shown on Thursday night. It's called 0 to 100 at the high school. It's Thursday the 19th at 6:30. And the Library Board of Trustees is very grateful for the town for facilitating a new furnace at the Library Legion building. Happy
Facilitating.
holidays.
All right. That it?
Yep.
Thank you. Deputy Supervisor Murphy.
Small report this month. Kudos to the entire Recreation Department for a awesome-looking park. All the work that they did everybody, Julie and her team, everybody from Highway that participated. I wasn't able to make it that event, but I do wish I was. But I heard it was great. Photos look great. Great job. Also in '24, we got a lot of things going on in planning. So, again, be a part of those decisions. Be a part of the meetings. A lot of things going on in this town in the next couple of years. You want to be a part of it. When the meetings are. So be a part of it. So that's my report.
Thank you, Jay. Supervisory report. As we talked about earlier with a few of you, special meeting, December 30th, 4:45 p.m. It's going to be a very short meeting. It's to close out the year's bills and possibly approve a purchase out of ARP money and to close that ARP money out, seeing how we have to use it or dedicate it by the 31st. So I'll have a little more to say about that later on, further in the meeting. I want to thank you to everybody throughout the town who has decorated the trees throughout the town this year. JLS Electric, thank you very much. The rec park, as Jay said, looks awesome. I'll be taking my yearly trek around the town, Wingdale and Dover, and taking some select pictures of those who just work their tails off each and every year to make their houses and their properties look good this time of year. I'll share them. I won't throw any addresses or names on mailboxes, but I've been doing it for years. I enjoy going out and looking at everything. I try to hit every road when I can. But I'd like to thank everybody, especially up and down 22, those who donated and helped put the trees up again this year. They always look good, and I appreciate all of that. I want to wish, there is a traffic report. We got an update from Transco, New York State Department of Transportation. The travel advisory, traffic slowdowns and road closures planned in Columbia and Dutchess counties. The New York State Department of Transportation is advising Columbia and Dutchess County motorists to expect traffic slowdowns and brief road closures beginning tonight, Tuesday, December 17th, and continuing through Thursday morning, December 19th, between the hours of 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. each night, and Friday, December 20th, between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. to facilitate the transport of an oversized load through the area. The traffic slowdowns and road closures will take place at the following locations as the load progresses through the area, weather permitting. Traffic slowdowns and short intersection closures will occur along the following southbound route: Route 23B, State Route 23, U.S. Route 9, State Route 9G, County Route 41, known as Crum Elbow Lane, Crum Elbow Road, and Netherwood Road, State Route 115, County Route 71, known as West Road, U.S. Route 44, County Route 43, known as DeGarmo Road, County Route 46, known as Overlook Road, State Route 55, County Route 9, Clove Valley Road, County Route 21, here's where it comes into Dover, County Route 21, Wingdale Mountain Road and Pleasant Ridge Road, and State Route 22 in Wingdale. A road closure is up to 15 minutes in duration, will take place at each of the following locations: U.S. Route 9, over the Roloff, Jansen Kill, and town of Livingston, Columbia County on Tuesday night; Taconic State Parkway at State Route 55 in the town of LaGrange, Dutchess County on Friday. About the Department of Transportation, it is the mission of the New York State Department of Transportation to provide a safe, reliable, and equitable and resilient transportation system that connects communities, enhances quality of life, protects the environment, and supports the economic well-being of New York. Lives are on the line. Please slow down and move over for the highway workers. So that is tonight through Friday. That is to move the large transformer-type equipment to, I believe, the Transco project. Okay, that has happened once already, and you can understand why they move very slow and they are very careful. This building has nothing compared to what they're hauling. So there's the information. We'll post that to our website. I do not recall the first move paperwork. That's why we did not talk about it. That's why we did not post it. I don't believe we posted it, but I don't remember seeing it. And I went back and looked today, so I think New York State forgot to send it to us. With that, that is the end of my report, but with that, I just want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we will move on further into the agenda. Any questions, board members?
Are we okay to move on without Tom?
Yes. Resolution to authorize and approve the consent agenda items. Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Dover does hereby approve the following items for consideration and adoption on the December 17th, 2024 Town Board Regular Meeting Consent Agenda. Authorize payment of abstract number 12 of 2024 in the amount of $246,003.10. Accept minutes of the Town Board meetings of November 20th, 2024. Approve the Town Clerk's report for November of 2024. Approve the Town Supervisor's monthly financial report for November of 2024. And accept unanticipated revenues, authorize budget transfers, budget amendments, and payment of all abstract purchase orders as prepared and submitted by the town's bookkeeper. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Maluda, seconded by Murphy. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So carried. Resolution authorizing the New York State DEC to conduct a habitat survey on town property for cottontail rabbit. Whereas the town of Dover received a request from New York State DEC to conduct a study on two species of cottontail rabbits, New England cottontail and eastern cottontail, on town of Dover-owned property. And whereas New York State DEC will take 2 visits to the property to search property for rabbit tracks, collect samples of pellets, and record vegetation information, and no trapping of rabbits will take place or placement of any sampling devices, and all staff is covered and insured by New York State. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Dover does hereby authorize New York State DEC access to Town of Dover-owned property to conduct a habitat survey on the cottontail rabbit. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Brought by Maluda, seconded by Holmes. Any discussion? I think this has happened before in the past. Done every few years, if I remember.
Almost every year now,
Is it every year now?
because we're part of the Great Thicket,
Yep.
so the cottontail is an endangered species.
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing no further discussion, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So carried. Resolution authorizing the supervisor to execute extension agreement for Dutchess County procurement assistance. Whereas an intermunicipal agreement between Dutchess County and the town of Dover for central purchasing services expired on October 31st, 2024, and whereas the parties desire to extend the agreement for an additional year to October 31, 2025. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Dover does hereby authorize the town supervisor to execute an extension of the intermunicipal agreement with Dutchess County for central purchasing services as attached hereto and made a part hereof, and be it further resolved that a copy of the fully executed agreement shall be kept on file in the office of the town clerk. I'll entertain a motion.
Second.
Brought by Murphy, seconded by Maluda. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So carried. Resolution rejecting the bids for Dover Library and American Legion Commercial Generator Project. Whereas the town of Dover published bid specifications for the purchase and the installation of a propane-fueled commercial generator at the Dover Library and American Legion building. And whereas another imperative building-related repair required to the town to allocate funds in place of this project at this time. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Dover hereby rejects the bids for the proposed commercial purchase and generator project at this time. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Brought by Jackson, seconded by Holmes. Discussion. So, for those of you that didn't know, listening in or here tonight, the boiler that heats the library and the Legion went. It was on its last leg. It was leaking considerable amounts of water. We had to declare an emergency on that. We had a local company come in and determine that we needed to replace it. At the same time, we were in the process of accepting and honoring a bid for the generator project for the Legion and Library building. Due to this, the estimates were very high. We had to make a decision. And of course, we needed to replace the boiler first and foremost. So this will be put on hold. The boiler has been installed, was purchased and installed by Taylor Oil in Dover on an emergency status. They got it done out and back in and online within 2.5 days. It came in on a Tuesday, and we had heat back Thursday night, I think. So I thank them for putting some things aside and taking care of us, but this is now on hold. The plan to move forward is we will do this generator job. Since we're doing away with the bids, rejecting the bids, if we vote unanimously, or we vote for to reject them, on state contract with the remainder of the ARP money, we researched it today. I believe we found the ones we will, we will be looking into and purchasing off of state contract with ARP money. It will not hurt the budget or the upcoming budget coming into 2025. We have enough money to cover that generator. Along with that, we were going to plan a project for later next year, sometime next year, I'd rather say, as well as to generate the highway department. They're on a very small generator now. This was also a project that was on my desk to plan for. With remaining ARP money, we are going to purchase that generator off of contract. So the only thing that we will be responsible for next year is to put the jobs themselves out to bid. Generators, transfer switches will be purchased and here in storage. Okay? ARP money will cover all of that. What my job will be is to plan how to finance the installation. And first on my list will be the Library Legion building because, again, in our emergency plans as well as the counties, the library building is in that plan itself. So that will be the priority. Okay? Mm-hmm. So that's the route we're taking. Right after the first of the year, we will sit down and see where I'm at, and we'll go from there. Any questions? No? Okay. Again, it was unexpected. I mean, can't do nothing about it. So, we have a motion.
So
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So carried to reject the bids for the Dover Library and American Legion grant project, or generator project. Good evening, council. How are you, sir? No problem. I changed tonight. You didn't, buddy. Resolution authorizing the town supervisor to execute the contract ambulance service agreement with NDP, known as NDP, Northern Dutchess Paramedics. Whereas the town of Dover presently holds ambulance operating authority in accordance with Article 30 of the Public Health Law of the State of New York to operate an ambulance service within the State of New York and specifically within the town of Dover and Dutchess County. And whereas the town of Dover seeks to enter into an agreement with Northern Dutchess Paramedics Incorporated, NDP, for the provision of basic life support services, advanced life support, and paramedic services for all Dutchess County Department of Emergency Response, DCDER, and 911 emergency calls for service within the town of Dover for all of Dutchess County 911, and 911 emergency calls for service within the town of Dover. And whereas this agreement shall include NDP providing its services for the town of Dover, as well as the town of Amenia and the town of Northeast. And whereas the town of Dover is still in negotiations with Northern Dutchess Paramedics for some further technical revisions to the contract, which the parties agree will be covered by a contract addendum. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Dover hereby authorizes the town supervisor to execute a contract with NDP to provide ambulance services in the town of Dover for 2025, 2026, and 2027, subject to a future contract addendum. And be it further resolved that a copy of the contract for ambulance services shall be kept on file in the office of the town clerk. I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Brought by Murphy, seconded by Holmes. Discussion. So as we all know, this has been a negotiation going on for several months. As I discussed in the budget process, it started out very high, and through some negotiations and a lot of heavy talking, we got it down to where it's at. Northeast voted theirs in. I didn't move any of these, did I? Northeast voted theirs in. I believe Amenia is already in place, and if it goes through tonight, will be in place with the numbers that we all came down to through negotiations, which is a lot lower. Okay? And for those of you that are interested, the first year from last year of approximately $293,000 we paid in 2024, the first year is now $401,563, an increase of $108,000. That original number would have been $510,000, and we negotiated it down to $401. So that's where we're starting at, and then it increases over the next 2 to 3 years. So, again, the addendum part of this resolution, all four parties, Northern Dutchess, Northeast, Amenia, and Dover, we would like to see some changes throughout, and just with budget and timing, and all parties just not being able to get together and hash some of these things out. We did have some changes done, but they're not all done. I'd like to see some more changes done. So we came to an agreement. We will be meeting after the first of the year, and both parties, as it states, agree to put a addendum, Tom? Yes. An addendum to the contract we'll be bringing in tonight. Okay? Any questions?
The addendum piece, would it affect the 25 budget or
No.
nothing?
None of the numbers will change.
None of
The
the
numbers are
25.
solid.
Technical issues.
It's technical issues, response times, we'd like to see tweaked a little bit.
Nothing financial,
Nothing financial, no, nothing financial.
and it wouldn't throw anything off the budget?
Nope.
So just to put
Nope.
everybody's concerns?
Yep, it's, you know, one example for me is I want the ambulances GPSed, so we know where they're at within our town at any point in time. And I'm asking for the mobiles to be GPSed as well, so when they key the mic up to talk to the county, I know where they're at.
Okay.
County vehicles do it
Mhm.
already.
Okay.
I know where my plow guys are. I just gotta look at a laptop. So that's just one example. And then the fire departments, they're the ones that work with them every day.
The fire.
They'd like to see some changes as well, and we're gonna sit down, and Northern Dutchess, the two people from Northern Dutchess are more than willing to talk to us.
And who monitors that? Fire department, or do we do?
We do.
We do.
We do. The holders of the contract, we meet every other month, maybe quarterly, and we go over, we bring issues with calls, we bring issues we may have, or maybe it's something we missed, and let's talk about this, can we make this change? Personnel issues, that's what we do.
Okay.
They are responsible to show us financials when we request them, so on and so on.
Okay.
But nothing, the numbers you see for 25, 6, and 7, they are solid. They are solid. Correct, counsel? Yes. Yep. Okay?
Yep.
Any other questions? There's a lot of work. Tommy, I thank you for all the help and guidance you helped us with that, including talking with other towns' lawyers. It was a hurdle. Much appreciated. So we have a motion and a second to go ahead and authorize myself to execute this contract. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So carried. I'm sorry, should that have been a roll?
Oh, I
No?
think that would be fine, just a contract.
Good call like that? Okay. At this point in the agenda, are there any public comments? If you have any comments or questions, please approach the podium. Okay, seeing nobody approaching the podium, a reminder that we will have a special meeting on Monday the 30th at 4:45 PM, just to take care of some last of the year bills and possibly the purchase of the the generators for the 2 projects I spoke on, and to close out the ARP money. So that is the upcoming meeting. I will hold off on the executive session until the end of the reorg meeting. We will do it after that one. So at this time, I'll make a motion to adjourn for a short 5-10-minute recess for our media group to switch over. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second to adjourn this meeting and have a slight recess until we open up again in a few minutes for the reorg meeting. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So carried. We'll be back in 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, Town Board reorganizational meeting, Tuesday, December 17th, 2024. The time is 7:19 PM. I'd like to call this meeting to order by asking everybody to please rise for the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Following the agenda, any public comments and/or questions on agenda items only? Please approach the podium. Seeing nobody approaching the podium, we'll move on. Town Board liaison assignments. Once again, congratulations, Tom. Going into 2025, there weren't many changes at all. The board stayed the same. So 2025 Town Board liaison assignments, Supervisor Richard Yino. All departments, all municipal functions, all boards and committees, all town organizations, JHK and Hose Company, Northern Dutchess Paramedic Ambulance Service, and all elected and appointed officials. Deputy Supervisor Jay Murphy. Departments, Recreation, Rec Commission, Planning and Zoning, Building with Supervisor. Municipal function is the A Fund still. Community organizations, Dover Day with Rec Department, JHK Park and Boyce Park with Councilman Maluta. Elected officials, all elected officials with the supervisor. All parks and town property improvements and comprehensive plans. Councilman Maluta. Departments, Highway with Councilman Holmes, Constables and Dog Control Officer, Municipal Function D Fund with Councilman Holmes, Community Organizations, the American Legion, the VFW, Seniors Program with Julie and her staff, Cleanup Day with the supervisor. Elected official, Highway Superintendent and Councilman with Councilman Holmes. Councilwoman Susan Jackson, Departments, Assessor's Office, Media with Town Clerk, IT along with the Supervisor's Office, and Town Clerk. Municipal function is the A Fund, Community Organizations, the Dover Union Free School District, the School Board, Dover Library, Town Cleanup Day with myself and Councilman Maluta. Elected officials, Tax Collector, Town Clerk with Deputy Supervisor Murphy. Councilman Holmes. Departments, Highway Department with Councilman Maluta, Stone Church with Councilman Maluta, and the Trails Committee Chairman. Municipal function, D Fund with Councilman Maluta. Community events, Dover Day, Town Cleanup Day with Deputy Supervisor Murphy, and Supervisor and the Rec Department. Supervisor and Town Clerk will serve as liaisons to the Harlem Valley Appalachian Trail Community and the Conservation Advisory Council. With these assignments, I will request a short report each month at our regular meetings. The Highway Superintendent and Recreation Director will also be asked for a monthly report. In the absence of the Highway Superintendent or the Rec Director, the assigned board member will be asked to present a report. The Building Department will also be asked to present a report on the month's activity. There it is. No changes there. Resolutions. Go to the next one. Yep. Authorized positions. Our sound down again. Nope. Every time I get a text after I read, I always worry about the sound. Authorized positions and appointments of the town supervisor, town highway superintendent, and the town clerk. Whereas the 2025 Town of Dover adopted budget contains the positions of Deputy Supervisor and Confidential Secretary for 2025. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Dover hereby authorizes the positions of Deputy Supervisor and Confidential Secretary in the Town of Dover for 2025. The Deputy Supervisor shall be Jay Murphy. Confidential Secretary shall be Lizette Martinez. The Budget Officer shall be myself, Richard Yino. The town historian shall be Valerie LaRobadier. Town clerk Katie Palmer House appoints Bonnie Franks as deputy town clerk. Highway superintendent Jason Sartori appoints Teresa Jacopino as assistant to highway superintendent. We need motions on these, Tom. Are these just informational? Informational, right? Appoint Town of Dover consultants for 2025. Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Dover does hereby name the following Town of Dover consultants for 2025. Joseph Berger, P.E., Town Engineer. Thomas J. Jacobellis, Esquire, and Hogan and Rossi, Town Council. AKRF Incorporated, the Town Planner. RBT CPAs LLP, Town Accountant. Authorize necessary town officials for 2025. Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Dover hereby appoints the following necessary Town of Dover officials for 2025. Account Clerk Tracy Anderson. Assessor's Clerk Carolyn Lasher. Budget Assistant Nicole Scaramuzzo. Building Inspector Don Anderson. Building Secretary Tammy Burns. Code Enforcement Officer Paul Johnston. Constables Jason Robert Dean, Dwayne Jackson, Brett Johnson, Francis Lansing, Justin Romeo, Kenneth Wallace. Deputy of Registrar of Vital Statistics, Tracy Anderson. Dog Control Officer, Brett Johnson. Dog Control Officer Backup, Kenneth Wallace. Justice Court Clerk, Helen Abrams. Media Clerks, Natalia Orta, Natalie Brill. Purchasing Clerk, Lizette Martinez. Records Management Officer, Catherine Palmer House. Recreation Assistant, Dodie Grispin. Recreation Secretary, Paula Holmes. Recreation Director, Julie Muncie. Registrar of Vital Statistics, Bonnie Franks. Secretary to the Planning Board, Marilyn Van Millen. Secretary to the Zoning Board of Appeals, Marilyn Van Millen. Zoning Administrator, Don Anderson. I wouldn't let you go, Marilyn. You know that. Appoint board and committee chairpersons and members for 2025. Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Dover hereby reappoints Ryan Courtine as chairperson of the Town of Dover Planning Board for 2025. And be it further resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Dover hereby reappoints Deborah Kaufman as chairperson of the Town of Dover Zoning Board of Appeals for 2025. And be it further resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Dover hereby reappoints Kevin Katowski as chairperson of the Town of Dover Recreation Commission for 2025. And be it further resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Dover hereby reappoints the following individuals to the following town boards. Ryan Courtine to the Town of Dover Planning Board with a term expiring December 31st, 2031. Deborah Kaufman to the Town of Dover Zoning Board of Appeals with a term expiring December 31st, 2029. And Katie Palmer House, Richard Gino, Bonnie Franks, and Marilyn Van Millen to the Town of Dover Records Advisory Board for 2025. Any questions on any of that?
Is there supposed to be an end underneath that? 2025 end?
No. Tom, a question? Oh, I thought you said something. Nope. He saw the "and" at the end of that one and thought maybe typo? Authorize the town supervisor and council persons for the year of 2025. Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Dover does hereby authorize the town supervisor to execute the Dover Plains Library referendum in the amount of $275,000. And be it further resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Dover does hereby authorize the town supervisor to purchase a $250,000 blanket bond for the purpose of covering all employees who collect money, including the town clerk, the bookkeeper, and the town justices. And be it further resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Dover does hereby authorize the town supervisor to purchase a $500,000 blanket bond for the purpose of covering the tax collector. And be it further resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Dover does hereby authorize the town supervisor to pay in advance of audit specified bills and contracts, including principal and interest on bond anticipation notes, town ambulance EMS contract, gas, water, fuel, electric, telephone, postage, and payments not requiring prior audit but under review, employee payroll deduction payments, Planning and Zoning Board members, contractual payments, and disbursements of amounts withheld from employers' pay. Now, be it further resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Dover does hereby authorize the Town Supervisor to sign blank checks when necessary for all town business, to authorize Deputy Supervisor Jay Murphy to sign bank checks. I'm going to correct myself. That the Town Board of the Town of Dover does hereby authorize the Town Supervisor to sign bank checks. I said blank before. Bank checks when necessary for all town business, to authorize Deputy Supervisor Jay Murphy to sign bank checks when necessary in the absence of the supervisor, to authorize Councilman Maluda to sign bank checks when necessary in the absence of the supervisor and Deputy Supervisor Murphy, to authorize Councilwoman Jackson to sign bank checks when necessary in the absence of the supervisor, the Deputy Supervisor, and Councilman Maluda, and to authorize Councilman Holmes to sign bank checks when necessary in the absence of the supervisor, the Deputy Supervisor Murphy, Councilman Maluda, and Councilwoman Jackson for the year of 2025. That should be a voted resolution. I'm going to ask for a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Brought by Murphy, second by Maluda, but I should probably abstain due to Dina being my wife?
No, it's not,
No?
doesn't have to do with salary or anything.
Okay, so we're good.
Just
Okay. We have a motion, a second. Question was answered that I had. Anything else? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Set the town emergency interim successors. Be it resolved, in the event that Supervisor Richard Yeno is unavailable to sign necessary documents or act on behalf of the town, then Deputy Supervisor Jay Murphy is hereby authorized to sign or act on behalf of the town. And be it further resolved that Supervisor Yeno and Deputy Supervisor Murphy are unavailable to sign or act on behalf of the town, then Councilman Jan Maluda is authorized to sign and act on behalf of the town of Dover. And be it further resolved, if Supervisor Yeno, Deputy Supervisor Murphy, Councilman Maluda are unavailable to sign or act on the behalf of the town, then Councilwoman Susan Jackson is authorized to sign and act on behalf of the town of Dover. And be it further resolved, if Supervisor Yeno, Deputy Supervisor Murphy, Councilman Maluda, Councilwoman Jackson are unavailable to sign or act on the behalf of the town, then Councilman Roy Holmes is authorized to sign and act on behalf of the town of Dover. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Brought by Murphy, seconded by Jackson. Discussion? It's just the line of order every year, everybody. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Carried. Set town schedules and procedures. Be it resolved that the town board of the town of Dover hereby sets the town board meeting schedule for the last Wednesday of the month at 6:30 p.m. at Town Hall at 126 East Duncan Hill Road, Dover Plains, New York. And be it further resolved that meetings by the town board of the town of Dover shall follow modified Robert's Rules of Order, including consideration and vote on items presented on a consent agenda. And be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Dover does hereby authorize the salary payment schedule to be every 2 weeks. And be it further resolved, purchase orders are due every Friday by noon. And be it further resolved, petty cash shall be limited to $250. Be it further resolved, the official depositories of town of Dover shall be M&T Bank and Salisbury Bank. That should change.
NBT.
NBT.
BT Bank. I'll read that line again. Be it further resolved, the official depositories of the town of Dover shall be M&T Bank and NBT Bank and Trust Company. And be it further resolved, the holiday schedule for the town of Dover shall be according to the Teamster contract for the year of 2025. Be it resolved, the salaries and wages of the elected officials shall be as per the adopted town budget for 2025, and be it further resolved, the salaries and wages for the non-members of the local IBT number 456 shall be as per the adopted town budget for 2025, and be it further resolved, the salaries and wages of the members of Local 456 shall be as per the town's collective bargaining agreement for the year of 2025. Be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Dover hereby sets the mileage reimbursement for 2025 in the town of Dover at a price to be set by the Internal Revenue Service. Be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Dover hereby designates the Poughkeepsie Journal as the official newspaper of the town of Dover for 2025, and be it further resolved that the town clerk of the town of Dover is hereby authorized to place official publications or notices for the town of Dover in the official newspaper of the town of Dover. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Brought by Baluta, seconded by Murphy. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Carried. Scheduled public hearing for 2025 Town of Dover fee schedule. Whereas pursuant to the Town of Dover Town Code, Chapter 73, entitled Fees, authorizes the town board of the Town of Dover to set the fees for the Town of Dover. And therefore be it resolved that pursuant to Chapter 73 of the Town Code, the Town Board of the Town of Dover hereby directs the town clerk and the Town of Dover to publish notifications to give public service for a public hearing to be held on Wednesday, January 29th, 2025, at 6:30 p.m., or as soon thereafter as possible to obtain public comment on the proposed 2025 fee schedule for the Town of Dover. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Holmes, seconded by Jackson. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So carried. At this time of the agenda, are there any public comments? Any public comments, please approach the podium. Seeing nobody approach the podium, upcoming meetings, the one I stated in the previous meeting, December 30th at 4:45, that is a Monday. The next regular meeting, because we are reorganizing tonight, and once again, congratulations, Mr. Holmes, you were sworn in for next year. You got it. The upcoming meetings will be Wednesday, January 29th at 6:30 p.m., 2025. So with that, I will once again say a very Merry Christmas to those of you that are out there still watching. A very Happy New Year. Be safe, be well, enjoy the time with friends and family, and once again, have a very Merry Christmas. And with that, I'll make a motion to adjourn and go into an executive session and not return to the dais to discuss a litigation issue.
So
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made by myself to go into an executive session and not return to the dais, seconded by Councilman Maluta. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? We now go into executive session. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everybody.